Hey there, welcome to another edition of Whiskey and a Reading. This week we're going to be talking about whiskey milkshakes and reading from another bestseller, Switchback, which is a contemporary sport romance in the world of competitive mountain bike racing. So, to the good part. In New York City, when I was visiting some friends, we went to Pride there, and over in the Chelsea area, the Chelsea market, there was a place that had boozy milkshakes, and they had several different flavors with different kinds of liquor, but they had, I'm of course partial to chocolate and to whiskey, so they had some different whiskey type ones. And then when I came back, I saw a restaurant, Grub, has boozy milkshakes as well, and it was the first time I had been introduced to peanut butter whiskey. This is one of the peanut butter whiskeys out there, Screwball. And so they had a Reese's peanut butter cup type one where they sprinkle it with the chocolate Reese's pieces on it and all that good stuff. Oh man, so good. So of course I need to make those at home. So a little bit of peanut butter whiskey to however strong you like things. This is a mini shake. I've got Tillamook chocolate peanut butter ice cream. If you haven't had that, it's amazing. It's from Oregon, really creamy. So I've got chocolate peanut butter ice cream. I've got peanut butter whiskey, a little bit of milk to smooth it out. Got some whipped cream, and if you're into all the chocolate pieces, you could crumble up some of the Reese's Pieces or something like that and put that in there as well, and enjoy, of course. Of course, I always got to get on my nose. But anyway, that is good stuff. Of course, there's all kinds of caramel is a popular one with the whiskeys and bourbons. Of course, there's all kinds of rum ones and different things like that you could do. So check it out. It's summer ice cream time coming up. And yeah, let me know what you think if you try one of those. And I think that would actually go great with Switchback because it's fun. It's kind of light. Sierra, who's one of the main characters, the mountain bike racer, she's into all kinds of things, but I think that's something that she could appreciate, as well as her best friend. And, this story is, Sierra is kind of a wild child. She's moving up the ranks in mountain biking, and but she's always just kind of, she kind of gets to that edge. She's got a lot of talent, but can't quite put it all together. So she gets into a wreck, and she meets one of the team doctors, or the event doctors rather, who's a chiropractor, and who's doing some sport research, and it just kind of goes from there. It's got a lot of good stuff. It's light and fluffy, not a lot of angst or anything like that. So I'm actually going to read right from the opening because I really like the opening on this. All right. This is Sierra, by the way. A brief moment of serenity followed by total reckless abandon. That's how Sierra Cody lived her life. Whether she was throwing her body or her heart off a cliff, she was all in from the start, consequences be damned. Unfortunately, thus far in her life, her heart hasn't fared so well. Professionally, however, she was on fire, living it up as her dream of becoming a professional women's downhill racer had finally come true. Next stop was World Cup, but that wouldn't come easily. She stared down the mountain, excited for the ride ahead. Mountain biking filled her soul with things she could never explain. Wonderful, powerful things that made her smile stretch from one end of the horizon to the other. It was a shame some people would never experience such joy. In moments like these, she felt sorry for the masses who never stepped foot outside of their safety zone, never pushed for more, never challenged their abilities. They were the living dead, merely breathing air, taking up space, and doing nothing worthwhile with the gift of life they'd been given. That would never be her. Whether it was music, sport, love, or any other passion, what was the point in taking a breath if you weren't going to go full throttle till the end? Call her crazy, and they have more times than she could count. But this right here, this was what being alive was all about. Straddling her bike inside the starting gate, Sierra basked in the majestic view that the 7,000-foot altitude allowed. The practiced rhythm of her breathing and her trusted friend, a red Scott Gambler downhill bike, were her only company. Their shared mission to conquer the mountain was steadfast and unwavering. Every race, every course was a new puzzle to be finished as quickly and skillfully as possible. Once the buzzer sounded, there would be no more peace, only the finite number of hair-raising minutes until this ride would end, and Sierra would begin to crave her next fix. The seconds ticked down. Soon the frenzy would begin again, but until then, a brief, pleasurable silence. Sierra's eyelids drifted shut behind her goggles, hiding the open blue skies that were interrupted by jagged peaks, whose landscapes were dotted with giant green cedars. Mother Nature's beauty faded into the background until there was only the course and every detail of her journey ahead, visualized to perfection. The steep slope out the gate led to a high banking of the first turn, then a wicked rock garden awaited approximately 30 seconds down. She would have to dial back her speed there, though. Too fast would send her flying, and too slow would get her hung up on the rocks. Next, a tight switchback to the left before a drop-off. It would be vital to maintain a good speed through that section to avoid disaster on her landing. Finally, it would be smooth sailing as fast as wheels would allow to the finish. Beep! The countdown had begun, bringing her back to the present. Beep! With one deep breath of crisp, clean air, she gripped the handlebars tight. Beep! Another breath as she steadied her right foot atop the pedal, every muscle tensed in anticipation of imminent explosion. Beep! Her eyes snapped open, locking on their target, the first turn of the winding single track ahead. Beep! Silence engulfed her mind. No more time for contemplation. Her mind and body became one, ready to react to whatever the track had in store. Boop! Powerful quads exploded into action, sending her rocketing down the mountainside. Dirt, rock, and roots passed in a blur, pushing the limits of how fast her wheels could spin. Two knobby tires mounted to a frame of aluminum moved as an extension of her being, obeying every command with delicate precision. The bike shuddered with vibrations from the earth below, reverberating through her bones. Foam and plastic were all that protected her body, yet she fearlessly carved through turns, conquered rocks, and flew off jumps without concern, loving every nail-biting moment. Never one to settle for second, Sierra pressed harder and harder. Eagle-like focus read the terrain ahead. Black and red painted fingernails dug into their grips as a thunderous heartbeat silenced the whistling of fans perched along the trail. Every muscle worked the bike to keep as much speed as possible through each obstacle encountered. A tenth of a second here, a thousandth there. They all added up. Brakes were not an option. Not today. Wisps of jet black hair mingled with fiery red strands blew wildly from under her helmet as the wind whipped against her face. This was what Sierra Cody lived for. This controlled chaos. She thrived on the thrill of adrenaline and the challenge of claiming the podium. It was a good run. She could feel it. Last turn up ahead. A little gravel and a high banking. Easy peasy. Been there, done that a million times before. She was dialed in. Could victory be within grasp? Hitting the banking full steam, her overly aggressive entry threw her weight forward, allowing the tire to slide. Fast as lightning, well-trained reflexes kicked in, adjusting the bike seamlessly back on course. The top of a boulder exposed from previous rides, however, refused to be denied. The front wheel caught, bringing the gambler to an abrupt halt. Head first, Sierra punched her ticket to a one-way flight over the handlebars. Shit. All right. That was a reading from Switchback, contemporary sport romance. That was one of my bestsellers, and one that I had a lot of fun writing because I also love mountain biking and traveling in the mountains, and so many things in there that relate to things I enjoy and do. So I hope you enjoyed another episode of Whiskey and a Reading. I hope you try the milkshakes with some type of version. Look them up. Be creative. Maybe try one with the espresso coffee Jameson that I had the other day. I need to do that. I haven't done that yet. But be well. Take care. And I hope to do another with you soon.